we always talk about deja vu and being a real thing. For one, it seemed like deja vu. I don't know if you got to watch any of the men's game last night, but it was on the flip side. Kennesaw State's men jumped out to a 12-0 lead, just like you guys jumped out to a 15-0 lead tonight. But a little bit reminiscent of the series a week ago against Lipscomb, where your team really just played some great offense, got out to a big lead. Lipscomb made a little bit of a run here and there. Kennesaw made a little bit of a run, but ultimately never really got it close, and you guys got a pretty easy win in game one of both of these series.
Yeah, I mean, we got into a good lead, Jamie, but, we were definitely not satisfied with our second half performance. Second half, it was 38-37, only won the second half by 1 point. I thought Kennesaw State did what we expected. It is an unbelievable job rebounding the basketball. And, I was just very disappointed in our players just with regards to the boxing out and rebounding. And, I think the key word for us today was focus. And, sometimes in the game of basketball, it being a game of runs, when the ball's going in the hole and you're making shots, a tendency is for you to lose focus. And I thought that's essentially what happened in the second half. We just lost a little focus. But, fortunate for us, we have quite a few players. We were able to go deep into the bench, and we were fortunate enough to come out with the win.
Speak a little bit about that rotation. It seemed like in the first half, it was almost like a line change in hockey. Like you had two totally different units out there on the court, and it certainly worked well as the way this game went on. You tweaked it a little bit. I think Audrey Clark kind of worked her way into it a little bit as the game went along, but kind of two different units.
Well, we're looking at the weekend. It's an 80-minute game, and as you know, last weekend it was 85 minutes. So, game one, managing minutes is just going to be so important for your success for the full 80 minutes. So, you obviously want to win today, but, we obviously are looking ahead to tomorrow. We're fortunate enough to have, I believe we have 10 starters. So, I subbed by 5 a couple of times there in the first half just because, I feel like, there's not a lot of drop-off between the first 5 and the second 5. So they were able to sustain that lead. But like I said, we just had a little bit of a lack of focus or loss of focus there in the second half. But fortunate enough, between the depth that we had, we were able to come out with the W.
And you're talking about minutes. We kind of touched on that just a little bit at the end of the game on the broadcast. 2 reserves actually led you in minutes, and with just 23 minutes in the game. So you guys did a masterful job of kind of spreading out the minutes pretty equally among 11 girls, essentially. And no excuses, I guess, for tomorrow. Everybody should have fresh legs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my goal was for 20 minutes max, so I was -3. So I didn't achieve my goal. 3 minutes off. But, yeah, like I said, we're fortunate and blessed to have, 10, 11 players that we feel comfortable playing and no drop-off. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's a 40-minute game today. And I just thought that last 20 minutes, we just lost a little bit of focus, especially on the rebound. I was just very disappointed that we allowed them to have, 2-3 shots on single possessions. And as I told the team, that's not a formula for success. So we have to, we'll readjust. We'll watch some film, and we'll focus on tomorrow. We'll be ready to play.
If you just took the statistical part of the stats of this and went back in time a couple years and handed this to you or to me, and we looked at it and we go, okay, Lady Flames are going to get out rebounded by 5, and they're going to take 26 3-pointers to their opponent's 9 in the game. You go, that's probably a recipe for a loss, but it was a recipe for a big win. I know the rebounding certainly is more of an anomaly than anything, but the 3-point shooting is kind of the new identity of the Flames.
It is. I mean, obviously the game is transitioning to, smaller and quicker, but, we are who we are. We're fortunate enough to have some pretty talented bigs that can also score the ball. And, we like to play inside out, but sometimes, like I said, when 3 ball is dropping, we're making shots. Sometimes we get a little too aggressive at playing outside of 3. I don't think we shot enough free throws. We wanted to get, Maya some more touches and Bella some more touches inside just to establish the inside game. But, we made some threes. But, like I tell the team, some days the ball is not going to go in the basket. So you really have to focus in on the, one-on-one defense and rebound the basketball. I thought we sent them to the foul line quite a bit. So, there'll be some areas that we'll be refocusing on in preparation for tomorrow.
I guess it is NFL weekend, and it's kind of playoff weekend. It's kind of that same balance of run versus pass, more inside versus outside. It kind of some similarities there between basketball and football.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to establish the run before you start passing, and you want to establish the inside before you start shooting the bomb. So there's definitely a correlation between the two. But between Maya and Bella, and we have Emily and Bridgette, we have enough players that we can really establish inside play. And I just think that just opens up the game for the perimeter play afterwards.
22 assists, 8 turnovers as a team. That's just outstanding. I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything more.
Absolutely. I mean, our team, we're playing very unselfish. We like to talk about, instead of the good shot, the great shot. And the ladies are really embracing good to great. And, we've had a couple of good shots that we passed up to get to a great shot. And I think that's why we ended up with those 22 assists. So, they're playing unselfish. They really work well together. There is this tight sisterhood that we have here in our program. And that's just a positive. That's a positive that we want to continue going into tomorrow.
Coach, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you again about this time tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Jamie.
All right, Coach Alexis Sherard filling in for Kerry Green, who's still out, having had that leg surgery earlier in the week that went well, and his recovery is going well. But Coach Sherard filling in, and 3-0. You can't get any better than that. And we're on a Teams call with Coach Sherard, and now I believe we have Bridgette Rettstatt.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Bridgette, how are you doing? Congratulations on the win today. You're our Thompson Brooks Insurance Player of the Game, and Bridgette, it's funny how I'm going to quote a Katy Perry song, "Hot and cold basketball can be," and the last game, when we were looking at the stats, and I'm sure you were, it's a good win, overtime win for the Flames, but I'm sure you were kind of a little bit hard on yourself after that game, only a 1-point game against Lipscomb. And today you just came out and found a rhythm, found a groove, finished up with 16 points and a team high 7 rebounds as well. It is when you get into a situation like this where you go cold to hot, is it more mental than it is physical?
I wouldn't say that I've really actually dwelled on it very much mentally. Our team's winning, so there's nothing that I can complain about. Obviously, I would like to score more points, but there's so much more in basketball than just points. And as long as I'm not the weak link and I'm not causing my team harm, I'm okay with not scoring and us just winning.
So it's really more about the distribution of the basketball than anything else. Not so much that shots aren't falling or that you're not getting enough attempts or anything like that. It's just there's a lot of weapons on this team.
Very much. There's so many. I think I'm so grateful to have a team that where if I score 1 point, we can still pull out a win. And I think that just goes to show how deep and how much depth we have on this team.
Seems like you found a spot that you like there down in the corner, a couple of long twos that you made in this game. Not everybody's comfortable with those sideline type shots, those corner shots, threes, or just inside the 3-point line. You seem to be pretty comfortable there.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on them a little bit in practice, just because, yeah, like you said, not everyone's comfortable there, and just as I need to be able to make a shot from the top of the key, I need to be able to make a shot from the wing or from the baseline.
And that's kind of what they were giving you, and oddly enough, they sort of gave Emily some shots, maybe not quite as deep in the corner as that, but maybe a little bit further out on the wing opening. So do you think that you guys are still kind of catching teams off guard a little bit about how much you're willing to shoot the three? That goes a little bit against the normal Liberty basketball blueprint for success. Usually it's all about trying to get 50 points in the paint, but this year the 3-point ball has really been the difference.
Yeah, I do definitely think that our conference play this year is slightly different than how we were playing last year. And we're going to take whatever they can give us. If we're going to get wide open threes, we're going to shoot them. And once they start closing out on that, we're going to pass it inside, and we're just going to take whatever's the best shot.
Well, other than maybe some harrowing moments at the end of regulation and at the beginning of overtime against Lipscomb, where it seemed like the game might not go your way. Other than that, at the beginning of conference year, how fun has it been? You guys are clicking. You're everything, and offensively scoring at a high rate, and everything seems to be going well. No turnovers, a lot of assists.
Yeah, I think I can speak for the whole team. We're all having a lot of fun playing, and I really think that's the difference. Is we're enjoying being out on the court.
With COVID, last thing for you, with COVID and the travel and the way things are, everything is a road trip in a series, but you are gone for, in this case, I know you guys got a little bit of a late start on the trip yesterday because of some travel problems, but it's still, you get a weekend away from a team building, and I know there's still probably distancing that you guys have to do even in the middle of the team, but have you been able to build that chemistry on some of these road trips?
I would say that this is probably one of our longest road trips, and so it's kind of a little too early to tell, but outside of basketball, we're always doing stuff together. So I think we already have such strong chemistry that these trips are just going to make it stronger.
Have you academically gotten started yet, or what's the timing as far as you guys getting back into classes, and maybe not physically in classes, but I guess virtually in classes?
We have not started yet. I believe we start January 18th. Don't quote me on that, but I do think that's around there is when we start.
Are you excited for it? How's things going academically?
They're going really well. I have 2 more classes left, and then I'm graduated, so I'm very excited.
Well, that sounds good. And we saw a bunch of reports on social media yesterday about the GPA of the team being outstanding all across Liberty Athletics. There's a lot of smart people. I tell you what, you guys do it on both ends, on the court and in the classroom, and especially as crazy as this year is with all the restraints and all the things that you have to do. It's just a testament to the hard work that you young ladies put in, and congratulations on a big win today.
Thank you so much, Jamie.